hello, EKN Nation. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole for episode 91 of Face2Face. We are back at it again into the, I guess it's the fourth quarter of the season. Big races, of course, coming up here to cap off the 2025 season, and one coming, of course, right around the corner as we go live here on Facebook and YouTube is the ROK Vegas event for ROK Cup USA. David, that'll be one that I've never been to, actually. I know you've been to at least one of them. I think one of them. I've never been to that event. Looking forward to it. I'll be part of the broadcast team. We'll talk about that later. But Mike Burrell from ROK Cup USA is going to join us. Big races coming. You and I are going to the Rio again. Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, that's why I had to wear this shirt. Anytime you think of the Rio, you think of the lights and the glitz and the glamour. That is the Rio. I went there in 2019, the day after Halloween, because my kids were trick-or-treating and went out there. And I think I caught qualifying in the heat races. I think I was there for 3 days and then came right back home. So, again, going back to the Rio. We haven't been there since Supernats 24, right?
Yeah.
When you raced?
25. I ran the 25th one.
25th. Sorry. 25th. Yeah. I forgot that. So we'll be going back to familiar grounds, obviously different. That's something we'll talk a little bit with Mike about is the Rio has been going through renovations. So we haven't seen any of that other than pictures and maybe some social media snapshots by people that were there last year. But excited to be at the ROK Vegas. It's going to be a big race as it typically has been. And again, anytime you go to Vegas, anything can happen. The racing is going to be exciting. We got 11 categories that we're going to talk about. So lots to get into.
Yeah, we're going to dive into, as you guys know, folks, this is an interactive show. If you have any questions, if you're watching, feel free to drop them in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, drop it in there. It'll pop up for us and we can bring it in. We can ask Mike if you have any direct questions about the event. Again, October 29th to November the 2nd. So as David said before, it will go over Halloween this year at the Rio Hotel, All Suites Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Again, right on the I-15 across from the Strip. It's going to be a fantastic weekend for sure. Big numbers. We're talking to a lot of the teams. You've seen a lot of the news coming out over really steadily over the last couple of weeks, maybe last month, of teams and companies coming on board to be part of this event this year.
Yeah, they have sponsorship for all 11 categories. Plus, they have associate sponsors, people doing fast time qualifiers, and other awards that they're going to be doing. So you got to figure at least 20 different teams or companies are already invested into the event. So let alone you add 10 drivers per team. That's 200 drivers right there. Boom, you're soaring with big numbers. So again, we've already talked to Mike a little bit off air. He's talked about giving us some previews on some of the numbers, and numbers are looking great. And massive prize package that we'll get into as well.
Well, you and I can talk about what's come across the news desk at EKM, but we might as well bring the guy in, right? That knows all this stuff. Yeah. Let's get Mike Burrell in here right now. He's waiting off screen in the studio to come in and join us here. There he is. Mike, thank you for taking the time. I know I said this to you when we were off air, and it kind of, you were like, oh my God, 3 weeks out.
I know. Yeah.
3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, you guys will be wrapping up on a Wednesday of practice from the Rio. Are you guys ready to go?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much everything's lined up, ready to go. I mean, we got a good crew in there, so, we'll just make it happen like we always do.
That's it. We're going to dive through the event schedule, folks. We're going to hit classes. We're talking about the prize package, track layout one for sure. We're going to jump on that a little bit. We'll talk about that new ROK SV Pro category that I think has really got everybody excited. We're going to get into that as well. We'll talk about the live stream too. Mike, coming out of the gate, you probably obviously overheard us talking about the fact that there have been a lot of companies jumping on board, teams jumping on board, this surge, this wave of the industry coming to support this ROK Vegas event. First off, give me your thoughts on how everybody's coming together. And number two, just, talk a little bit some of the companies you want to bring up right now.
I want to bring up all of them, but we don't.
I should have put you on the spot. I apologize.
No. But no, it's been really great. We've gotten a lot of support from usual teams that we always have, and then just new teams coming on, and new people in the industry, and it's we created a couple different sponsorship levels so everybody could afford to be involved, and tried to add enough value that it gave them something. Each of the class sponsors got a full race entry for SV. Wow. A couple of them didn't want it race entry for SV. They wanted the classes they were more prevalent in, like the shifter stuff. So we went ahead and honored that and everything. But so yeah, we just created a couple of good programs, and a lot of people came on, and I'm glad they see the value in our event, and I'll be out there, and we'll try hard to make them worth their while.
I think the SV Pro category, let's jump into that. I know it's a little bit further down in kind of the list of stuff we talked about getting into. Let's talk about that class. I think it's obviously one of the things that's got people pretty fired up. 125cc, single speed, 34 horsepower, 15,000 max RPM, a new engine coming out of Vortex and ROK. Let's talk a little bit about that new program and how the class is going to work at this year's ROK Vegas.
Oh, it's a cool engine. It's small for a 125. It's got a Tillotson carburetor, like, with needles on it, like us Americans like. So I'm an old like David, I'm an old Yamaha guy and sit there and play with the needles all day. So yeah, it's all right. And it's so it's really caught on quick. How we're doing it, it's all going to be engine lottery. So Vortex is sending some people over. They're going to prep all the motors as equally as you possibly can. Everything's going to be sealed, and you're going to come up and pill pick, and I get engine number 6, he gets number 3, whatever, and you'll keep that engine through qualifying. After qualifying, they'll bring that engine back. Vortex will spend the night. Those guys are going to work some late nights.
That's the key to
everything ready.
You're bringing it back after qualifying, bringing it back after the heats, right?
Yep, bringing it back. Bringing it back Thursday after qualifying, Friday and Saturday, and so you'll get a new motor Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, different motor. So not new, different.
Of course.
Well, and it could be one you had based on the raffle, right? Because
it could be. I mean, you could draw the same one every time. You got a 1 in 50 chance of drawing the same motor every time.
So how many entries do we have?
50
total.
All 50 are locked?
Oh yeah, all 50 are locked. Yeah, wow. We got a waiting list. Waiting list even going. So
that's awesome.
It's great. I mean, it's got a lot of big names in it, and everything. So I mean, it's going to be really fun to watch. I'm nervous with 50 carts on track. As the assurance guy and the promoter guy and the safety guy, it makes me nervous, but it should definitely be fun to watch.
Well, there's also $5,000 to win. We'll get into the prize package, but if you want to,
don't even tell them that.
There's $5,000.
Yeah, right.
Those last couple laps are going to be good for sure.
Yeah, but they got to be fair. I mean, our Chuck Eater, our race director, he calls a tight race.
Yeah.
We probably I don't want to say we call more penalties than anybody else, but we keep it tight. Chuck doesn't know who you are. He doesn't care who you are. He just sees a number. He'll tell you, first guy to tell you, I don't care who you are.
Doesn't matter.
So exactly. He'll penalize his mom.
Dave?
Well, we should jump in on your new chief steward as well too.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't leave put in the notes. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, JJ, Jonathan George is the new chief steward. He's got experience racing, 24 Hours of Daytona, IMSA. He ran the old Stars of Karting series we were talking about when he first came in the U.S. So he's been around all kinds of sports, or all kinds of levels of motorsport. He coached Kyle Kirkwood for a long time. He's coached a ton of big name guys. We got talking, and he stood right next to me in May spotting for Kirkwood.
Yeah.
And and we just got talking about our whole philosophy on racing and how everything, and it was like, this would be a cool guy to have around. And the opportunity happened, and it was just like, this is the right guy to call, and thank God he was excited about it. He's like, I've always wanted to do something like that.
Now, we pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. History, success, family. Those are the 3 words that can describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation located just outside of Indianapolis has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their online store features everything you need: continually adding new parts to their product line. From full karting packages, new engines, spare or replacement parts, and safety gear, find it all at CometKartSales.com. Their Comet Racing Engine service has won multiple major events and championships over decades of karting and continues to offer the best trackside service in the industry, specializing in IAME X30, IAME Swift, and other two-cycle power plants. Make sure to head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today.
Welcome to AIM Sports and the groundbreaking Micron 6 karting data logger. Since its inception, AIM Sports has been at the forefront of motorsport technology, revolutionizing how racers gather data. From its early days, AIM has tailored its innovations to provide precise insights, allowing racers to fine-tune their strategies and push their limits. Fast forward to today, and we're excited to celebrate 30 years of Micron by introducing the latest evolution in karting data loggers, the Micron 6. Designed with cutting-edge features, including 25Hz GPS with mil-spec precision, a 6-axis inertial platform, shift lights and alarms, temperature inputs, and a host of wired and wireless expansions. With 2 CAN buses, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi, it's perfect for karting enthusiasts looking to enhance their game on the track. With its advanced suite of sensors, high-speed data acquisition, and easy-to-use interface, the Micron 6 delivers unparalleled performance on track. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this powerful tool helps you analyze every turn, every lap, even every heartbeat. Imagine a tool that not only records your lap times, but also analyzes parameters like speed, tire temperature, driver inputs, and engine performance. With the Micron 6, you'll gain insights that can shave seconds off your times and elevate your skills behind the wheel. Don't just drive, be data-driven. Join the AIM Sports community today and equip yourself with the Micron 6 to take your karting experience to the next level. Visit aimsports.com to learn more. AIM Sports, 30 years of Micron.
Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. The one thing I want to say this, Mike, it's interesting because you bring up spotting with them. You're a professional race watcher, which I think is very well. It's right. It's very you are seriously watching what's happening during a race and watching it all unfold as a spotter for the 24, for the 500, whatever it is. And I know that Jonathan's worked with obviously RC Enerson in the past as well. That's not something I've heard before. There are some race directors like a Rick Folks that spend some time being a spotter because you really are watching intently on a race, which I think is a key thing, obviously, being a race steward.
You are, but you're watching different from being a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, half the time you don't even know. Oh, it's like, oh, that guy won. Wow, cool.
That's right. I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
if you're not in the fight, you don't know. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at different things for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And JJ being a driver coach and having driven a lot of different stuff, he sees the bad habits karting promotes up the ladder. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, let's fix it. Let's make it, let's teach as much as we penalize.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
So how is that dynamic going to work with Chuck and him? Is he the guy talking to the racers and then Chuck's the one calling everything? Like, how is that working?
Chuck, and that's the way it always has with us. Okay. Chuck's the cop. He's the highway patrolman out there, writing the tickets. And then, I guess JJ and Rick Folks is also coming as the second steward. So, they're going to be the judges.
Judge and jury right there.
Yeah, right. So we just don't want to go to an appeals court because I don't want to get involved.
Just say no appeals. It's just done. We're not doing that.
No, there are. So,
that's perfect Halloween costumes right there. We get Chuck Yoder a little badge, and then we get JJ and Rick Folks in a robe in the judge's robe.
Can we call JJ Judge Judy?
Judge Judy.
Rob's going to be kicked out of the booth before.
Well, I need a lock on the door.
Yeah.
Funny. I love it. Okay, listen, let's dive back into let's event schedule for those who may be coming to the Rock Vegas for the first time. Obviously, the Rio. One of the beauties of it is if you're staying in the Rio, which make sure you're staying in the Rio if you're coming, and we'll talk more about that later. There's nothing like walking from your hotel room out the back door into the paddock. It's one of the greatest things, and it makes the schedule easier for you because you're not driving anywhere. You know, you're able to walk right out. So let's talk about the event schedule. We mentioned we're 3 weeks out. The Wednesday of the race, we'll start with that, and then Mike, I'll let you take it from there. 5 rounds of practice on the Wednesday to get things underway.
Yeah, Wednesday's just straight up practice. Thursday's our shortest day, probably. A practice, happy hour, and then we do qualifying. Like the VLR classes, are junior and senior are both huge, so they're going to be split qualifying. We're not going to put 50, 60 carts out there at a time. We're going to split up the SV 25, or about that. We're splitting them by odds and evens, so which are pretty close. So Thursday, we're finished about 4:30 in the afternoon, nice and early, so everybody can go out to a good dinner or show or do whatever they want to do in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that smile, David.
He just wants me to buy him that's all it is.
And then, Friday we got 2 heat races, and Saturday we got 2 more heat races. Heat 4 for VLR Junior and VLR Senior, because of the numbers. We're going to lock the top 30 in through the first 3 heats. And then 31 on back will go to Heat 4 as in their Heat 4 as a last chance qualifier. And we're going to take 10. We're only starting 40 in each of those classes.
Okay.
So there's going to be some people going home. It happens. Welcome to big time racing.
That's it.
Yep. I got nothing wrong with that. People go home from the Indy 500. They do. And, but it's cool. It gives it a lot of atmosphere, makes it, something to strive for. And, so Heat 4 for the top 30 that are locked into the final is a progressive pre-final. So where you finish Heat 4, if you're in the progressive pre-final is where you start the final. And if you're in Heat 4 of the LCQ, you finish 31 through 40, that's where you're starting for the final.
Yeah. So,
and then, that'll be Saturday, and then Sunday's a quick warm-up and the finals.
It'll work. That's right. Wrap it all up. You mentioned we've kind of thrown some classes around, but let's talk about the kind of class breakdown. 11 overall classes, 9 race groups, because there is Master Shifter and Supermaster, as well as VLR Master and Supermaster as well for drivers 40 years of age and older. So let's talk about that, a little bit of a new thing. But let's begin with just the ROK Micro, ROK Mini, right? To get things underway, the kids.
Yeah, the kids will, I don't know, I can't remember the exact order, but the micros and minis, typical micro mini ages, pretty strong fields in both. So far, I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but same amount of track time. The finals heats are a little bit shorter just because they're running slower laps and things, but they get tired. you see it. So,
we didn't touch on that with the format. You guys are doing timed races the heat races for every class is 8 minutes plus 2 laps. Cadets are 6 minutes plus 2 laps. And then main events, 14 minutes plus 2 laps, and then 10 minutes plus 2 laps for cadets. When did you guys move to that time format? I'm not familiar when you guys started doing that.
We did that a couple years ago, starting at Winter Tour. You run into rain and things, especially in Florida, not in Vegas, obviously. But if you get a little bit of rain, you don't really have to change your schedule around.
Very true.
You're on a time. It's like, okay, well, cool. I mean, 2 laps might take 10 seconds longer each, but we're a lot more, precise on our schedule that way, and able to keep on the schedule with the time plus laps. So
that's a great idea.
We went to it. It seems a lot better. I'm all for getting people out quickly on Sunday so they can go home and get back to work and school, and so it makes it a lot easier.
So ROK Micro, ROK Mini, the ROK GP Junior, ROK VLR Junior, so the 2 junior categories there. You're going to have the ROK SV Pro. We talked about that. Super excited about seeing that category. Also, the ROK Pro Shifter. We're going to dive into that because there's big money up for grabs there if they get to the 20 entry mark.
ROK 20 entry mark
as well. What's that?
Yeah, they need the ROK Pro Shifter gets a few more entries and they'll be there. So, we don't mind giving away the money.
That's it.
Just got to have enough of them to make it worth it.
Shifter guys are always late on entry. What is your is there a registration deadline? I don't know what it's just about shifter guys.
No, we're actually good about that. We don't upcharge it, to be late and everything. And you can be standing in line in the morning and fill out your entry form. And
all right.
So we got. I think we had counted like 18 or 20 countries last year that were at ROK Vegas, and a lot of those people are telling us, well, I get a higher exchange fee if I pre-enter, or conversion fee or whatever on their credit card. So if I do it here, it doesn't cost me as much. It's like, okay, I get it. So we aren't going to up it. So
that's whatever works.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned before, for Masters drivers, that you have both the VLR category and the shifter class. There's a Master class, which is 32 years of age and up, or 200-pound driver. And then, of course, the new 40 and up Super Masters for both VLR and the shifter categories as well. We talked off air. Well, let's bring that up right now. The Super Masters class have pretty good numbers right now, do they not?
It's huge. The VLR Super Masters, I think, is 21 or 23, something like that.
40 and up.
It's awesome. Yeah, and we should have. I think actually they're all 42 and up that are in it, so we probably should have made it, 32 and 42, a little older. But there's some good guys in it. I mean, Scott Falcone really drove that.
They did.
He was real excited about it, and my buddy Brian Robson that works with us in tech, he's like, dude, we got to do this. We got to do this. And, and he's like, there's a ton of guys our age sitting around with carts that don't go to big races because they think they're going to get whipped by 30-year-olds. So, we talked about it. We did it. And, Falcone drove it. I got to give him credit on that. And some good names in that. I mean, I saw Max Pappas is in it. Paul Bonilla. Let's see. Who else was in it? There was Mike Jones right now. And, so
that's where you need a sheriff, is those guys.
Yeah, I was going to say,
probably.
Yeah. We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is SodiCart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer SodiCart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sodi USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. The Parolin Le Mans full-size chassis for junior and senior classes and the Parolin Opportunity model for cadet divisions have earned success weekend after weekend at all the major championships and events in both the USA and throughout Europe. The Parolin chassis lineup also includes the Invader shifter, along with the Daytona 4-cycle chassis and the Delfino Kid Kart. Karters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available all across North America. Parolin USA partners with several companies and race teams across the country to provide a strong dealer network to represent the brand locally and at the national level to support drivers throughout North America. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. The funny thing is, it's such a. I only bring this up because we talked about. I wrote about it in the column when I did the CKNA race. Right, for when you're in your 40s, let's say you're 45, you're 15 years younger than a 30-year-old master. The guys in 30 for the masters class, you're 15 years older, right? Even Falcone and I were in the legends class in CKNA. I'm 7 years. I think he's 58 or 59 or so. Whatever he is, he's 58. He's 8 years. Older than the young gun who's coming into Legends, which is it's just a funny thing about Masters has always been kind of 40 in the years past before. So this is kind of really going back to more of the old school, 70s, 80s, and 90s when Masters was 40 and up.
Right, and the older I get, the higher I wanted to raise it myself. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, I got 4 more years.
So you get the Legends.
Yeah, on Legends.
Yeah.
I mean, as it is right now, I'm 16 years older or 14 years older than the young guns in Masters. So I feel your pain.
It's a big difference. Yeah, there's a big difference.
It is a big difference, 100%. But that's obviously for you guys to get those kind of numbers in a Super Masters category, 40 and older. That's obviously speaking volumes. Yeah. There is a desire.
I think the Rio helps that because they're right there. They can party all night and short walk out and everything. So
that's it. Yeah. Don't make me get up too early in the morning, right? They want to spend some money for dinner and they want to spend some money at the casino for sure.
That's right.
Good time to roll. Do you think now into the prize package over $110,000 overall, $40,000 in cash, $60,000 in tickets and merchandise, over $110,000 or right around $110,000. That's big. That's big money and big value going out to the racers.
Yeah, we talked about that internally, and that's one of the things that Luis and Ursula and I were talking about, and really wanted to improve on and really give back, in the prize package. And I think it's working. I mean, we got good entries. So I mean, people are paying attention, and we're happy to do it.
Dave, do you want to roll out, or you want me to kind of go through the prize package here?
Yeah, you already talked about $5,000 to win the ROK Pro Shifter. As we said, it's going to get to 20 entries here pretty soon, but it pays back to 10th place. So even half the field, if there's 20 guys, half the field's getting paid. So that'll be good. $5,000 to win the ROK SV Pro category. We talked about that. There's also a bonus for a driver to win both SV and the VLR senior category, but also, and I informed Mike this earlier, the ROK GP junior and VLR junior. If a driver was able to win both, they get a $2,000 bonus there as well. Not to mention there's $3,000 up to win for VLR junior and senior, and $2,500 to win in ROK GP junior. So there could be a junior driver that goes away with $4,500 if they were able to win both GP junior and VLR junior.
That's kind of scary.
No.
Keep going, Dave. More than that.
It'd be I did my math wrong. It'd be $7,500. $7,500. Yes.
Yeah.
That's that Michigan stuff. Education.
Yeah. I just don't do math anymore. I got Excel spreadsheets to do that.
He's a math major, Mike. 20 years of typing at a computer, and he's lost all his math abilities.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is. Also, we mentioned obviously the 70,000 tickets. Mike, go through what are the tickets that are up for grabs as well here? A lot of stuff.
Vegas for 26 for sure. Yeah. Florida Winter Tour, ROK Sonoma. We kind of don't lock in people on the ticket. We're like, hey, which one do you want to use?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you want to come back to Vegas next year, cool. If you want, if you want to do Winter Tour instead, cool. It balances out to where the values are about the same on our end. So, but whatever's more convenient for the customer. So, like last week at ROK Sonoma, we had Vegas or Sonoma entries for 26, and they split on it. So it's like, hey, cool, whatever works for the customer.
Whatever works for you, for sure.
Yeah, we usually have a couple of the ROK Super Finals, which they get it in November and then they can't use it until next October. But
true.
But we usually put a couple of those in there too, and
fantastic event,
especially popular with the mini.
Fantastic event. I loved when I went over to the ROK Super Final. I really enjoyed that. It was such a great race. Again, for those of you tuning in here, folks, this is episode number 91 of our Face2Face, talking to Mike Burrell here from ROK Cup USA. The focus, of course, all on the ROK Vegas event coming up at the end of October. We'll get him on again probably in late December, talking about Florida Winter Tour, because that's coming around the horn. Again, we're in Q4. I know, Mike, I apologize. Literally, I know, it's like literally 2 months later, away we go, right? To the start of January in a new season.
That's all right. I'm ready to get out of here in January.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to pop them up there. I just want to throw that out there once again.
I would say, how close are we to getting locations finalized for that?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Better answer than I thought we were going to
get. Yeah, pretty close. We know March we're going to be at a T4 Anderson there for our March race. We're still finalizing January and February. So
there it is. Okay, so listen, let's jump into this right now. Let's talk about the layout. We've got a new layout, track layout for ROK Vegas here in 2025. Going to go in the counterclockwise direction. What do you got, David? There we go.
Oh, look at that.
Mike, walk us through this here right now.
Well, there's a lot of corners. No. As with any temporary track, you got to go out and you got to look at the pavement and say, okay, I think this will work. And then you go back 2 months later and you're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have to move this a little or change this a little.
They put 5 poles. They put 5 poles in the middle of our apex here.
Well, like last year, I think they had an Asian food festival a week or two before we were there. And there was a big grease spot that nothing we had would clean up.
Wow.
So we had to move something around because of that, and then just some new cracks. But yeah, we wanted to do something different. When I talked to Chuck and Darren and Shane Donnelly helped us design it. Shane ran Atlantics and IMSA stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and been working with us, buddy of ours. Shane's built a ton of temporary tracks for like arrive and drive things with car manufacturers like AMGs and BMW, stuff like that. So, we all kind of got together there with Chuck and race director and Darren McDonald, our assistant race director. And, I'm like, guys, let's go counterclockwise because we haven't done that for a while.
Yep.
And, let's do something with different, and just kind of try to do something a little different than just a bunch of straightaways and hairpins and things. And this is kind of what we came up with.
I like it.
We're gonna have some good runoff room, places that look like, oh my gosh, there's 90-degree corners. Now we're gonna make it plenty wide and everything. So if you mess up or you got room to we're not gonna try not to cause a big pile up anyway.
Yeah, so Mike, anybody looking at this. This will be the base. Obviously, if it works, it works. Like you said, when you get there, depending on the quality of the pavement and all the areas, you could be some final tweaks. We're looking at 7/10 of a mile. What, David? What do you count them up to? Like 19 corners here?
I know you kind of scared me when you said 19 corners.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you factor in the S's there's 4 in the middle of the racetrack. You got the last complex there. Yeah. There's 5 corners there. So
I go 19.
There's a lot of corners there. But again, when you talk about the Rio, you have a great flow. You come down through the grid area and you go out the other way. So there's not that congestion there. So at least with that, you got the grid and scales area that they're going to be the least congested areas, which always feels nice when you kind of lay out a racetrack, right, Mike?
Oh, for sure. And you got to think about that flow and everything, and you got it natural there with the two nice ramps down, and so you keep everything kind of apart from each other, and like I said, it just flows nice, and there's not a bad spot in the pits because if you're close on one end, you're probably equally far on the other end, and so. It'll be good. The track will be fun. We think there's some good passing places and some good, if you get past, good places to kind of counterattack.
Yeah, that's what I love. 100%.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing, obviously, the one thing that Alan Wilson used to always just drive me crazy with is he'd have this fantastic corner where it was like, a 90-degree corner. And if a guy blocked to the inside, you'd go to the outside. Just as you were trying to over under him to get a run, there would be a chicane. Like, so you, oh my God. And all his tracks were like that. Just drove me crazy. So this seems, from what I'm looking at, pretty racy. I like it. There's some hard braking, I think, some fast corners. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We'll see when we get there. I mean, who knows what they had between August and end of October.
Right?
We could show up and it could be an oval.
That's perfect. Let's go.
No, God, no.
Hey, listen. We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. From Florida to California to Las Vegas, it's time to rock. The 2025 season for rockers begins in the Sunshine State as Rock Cup USA hosts the 27th edition of the Florida Winter Tour. The championship is underway, having welcomed competitors to the Orlando Kart Center over the January 17 to 19 weekend for round one of the title chase. Rockers return to the Orlando, Florida facility for round two of the championship on the February 14 to 16 weekend. For the first time in series history, the Florida Winter Tour will host an event outside the state, expanding its reach into Texas. The March 21 to 23 weekend is the date for the series finale at the popular Speed Sports Racing Park in New Caney, Texas. Be part of history as the Florida Winter Tour goes to the Lone Star State. Looking ahead, mark down the year-end celebration with the annual Rock Vegas event, set for October 29th to November 2nd at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino. Visit rockcupusa.com for all the details and information surrounding the Florida Winter Tour, Rock Vegas, and more. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. Let's go into talk. Like we mentioned it earlier. Let's talk about the Rio again for those who maybe haven't been out there. They've been racing. We've been racing there since 2002. Superkarts USA back in the Jim Murley, Don Janowski days. Were able to get the move out of the rock pile, out at the track, out in Sloan, Xplex at that point to come into the Rio. That's the first time we went there in 2002. So it's been 23 years since we first went to the Rio to go book racing. What's that?
Same pavement.
It's the same pavement, probably 100% it is, isn't it? My God.
They are talking about repaving it.
Be amazing. Be amazing.
Yeah.
I know that Mike and I had a good laugh that I announced those first race at the Rio back in 2002 rather. So there are a majority of the kids that are racing, people that are racing at this event probably weren't even born. When I announced my first race at the Rio, of course. But listen, again, we haven't been there for a couple of years. Mike, you've been there. I'm sure you did some more reconnaissance trips throughout the year. Give us the update on the Rio right now. What's it looking like inside? There's been some renovations, we know. Tell us more about the Rio.
It's looking pretty good for the most part. They've done the one tower they've completely remodeled. Total gut remodeling. I think they said they spent a little over $400 million on updates.
Wow.
So Caesars sold it a few years ago, and this company called Dreamscape bought it, which is part of Hyatt.
Okay.
So, it's a Hyatt property now. So if you got Hyatt points, you can use those to stay there.
There you go.
And yeah, so they totally remodeled it. The rooms they remodeled are fully remodeled are really nice. They did a little softer remodels on other rooms. Yeah, and they're eventually going to get there. They redid the food court. There's options you can eat for, $20.
Yeah.
Which is nice in Vegas. Or you can,
sure.
they still got nice places you can sit down and spend a little more. So
Yeah,
it's not the Rio it was 5-7 years ago. That's for sure.
that's good. That's awesome to hear for sure. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up with the fact that we talked at the very start of the show here, Mike, that I've never been to the Rock Vegas event. Obviously, I've been to the Supernats and all of those, but I've never been to Rock Vegas. David came out and covered it a couple of years ago as well. We've covered it kind of from home over the last couple of years, but we will be trackside throughout the event this year. David's going to be there for weekend trackside coverage throughout the week. He'll be there for the engine raffle all the way through to the main events on Sunday. You invited me to come and be part of the commentary team. Let's talk a little bit about the live stream broadcast. Myself, DJ Clark, and Jackson Lambros, who's going to be in the pits. DJ and I'll be in the booth. Let's talk a little bit about the stream Friday on. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we've been doing our own now for a couple of years. It's been going really, really well. Guy that was producing local streams for Rock Sonoma, Jason Lorea is the producer of it. Super good guy, really into just putting out good product and everything. It's free on YouTube, Rock Cup USA's YouTube site. So, we got DJ and you in there. I think you guys are going to have great chemistry. I didn't know you didn't really know each other. I figured you knew each other from IndyCar.
Well, I see him at the races, right? We're going this way. I'm USF Pro. I'm going this way. He's doing his this way. We high five each other. I congratulate him on what he's done, because his story is fantastic too. Obviously, I've been in the karting world for a long time. DJ coming from like sim racing and everything. It's like, I talk a little bit about his stuff, because we're obviously going to go through that in the broadcast. But man, so cool, his story.
I don't really know it.
You don't know it? Okay.
No, I don't.
All right. We'll get DJ on here. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And, but I know he was good at the IndyCar stuff. And, when we were looking and everything, Tony Laporta did our stuff last year. And then he got busy with the high limit sprint car series. And
super busy.
Tony and I've been, super busy. 3-4 nights a week. Those guys are racing different time zones.
And he's killing it that too. He's doing such a good job with that high limit program.
Oh, he is. He loves it, and that's perfect for him. So
those of you don't know, DJ works with NBC as a pit lane reporter on the Indy Next series. He's also IndyCar's trackside voice, right? He does podiums and driver introductions, and he's also a pit lane reporter for IndyCar Radio as well. So he's getting a lot of work at IMS through the IndyCar Radio Network, through Fox, rather, not NBC, Fox. So again, you would do a lot of work, I know, at the Speedway as a spotter. We talked about that. So yeah, the connection there. You end up getting him into the Florida Winter Tour, and here we are. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, he did great at Winter Tour, and then Jackson sat in for him the last race, because I think that was thermal IndyCar.
Yep.
And Jackson's an up and comer. That kid's great. He's doing his homework. He called me yesterday and had, questions about, entries and things like that. And I still got I did send him stuff, and, he's really good too. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the three of you guys. Will make it fun. And, I think it'd be great. So
yeah, we're going to sit down for some planning meetings soon. I got in touch with DJ and Jackson. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. But yeah, live stream. I'll be out there again for that one. So for those of you who may not be able to make it to the event, Friday to Sunday, live stream, free, no charge to be able to watch that as well. So looking forward to Sunday, because again, with the money up for grabs, this SV Pro category, the Pro Shifter class, there's going to be some great racing. Again, let's be real. The micros and the minis put on some of the best racing every weekend.
Oh, they do.
They're so good.
They do. I mean, like our past 2 races at Sonoma, the micros and minis have been the classes to watch. Those kids are trading the lead 5-6 times a lap, and
exactly.
I look for it to be the same out here. It looks like Talladega or something.
That's it. Yeah. David, anything else to wrap this thing up?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, looking forward to get out there again. Week-long coverage. I'll be there Tuesday covering the engine raffle. So right from there, and we'll do obviously a paddock insider after that or during that as well throughout the day, and then
outlet preview podcast.
Yeah, we'll do our preview podcast. We'll have preview written articles week before. I didn't check my schedule. I'm pretty sure it's the week before, which
it is packed.
Yeah, we got a big editorial schedule coming up. So
a lot going on. Mike, anything else you want to get across? People, I know we talked about the Rio last days for the hotel block, right? A couple days from now
is the 10th.
Yeah.
So get those reservations in. You got to have a Rio reservation number there to enter. So we just kind of had to keep track of everybody in case they come back at us.
Yeah.
And ask how many people actually stayed there. So, the 10th is that. But I mean, we take, pre-registrations, same up through start of the race.
That's it. Yeah. We'll have some walk-ups. I love walk-ups. It always makes me happy.
Oh yeah. We're big with walk-ups. We probably get 20% walk-ups.
That is so good. Yeah. So again, Mike, 3 weeks away. When do you hit the ground? Let's throw that out there because people don't think about it when they're racers, right? How much work gets put in? How many times you were in Vegas, this year to make sure the site was right, this was going to be right. When does it all start? When does the build? When do you hit the ground and when do you start running?
We get there the 23rd. I think I land at like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Get out of Indy here at like 5 something. Yep, and then we'll have pretty much all our setup team will be there by the 24th, and it's on 6 trailer loads of barriers, another 120 jersey barriers, another 100 hay bales. I mean, it is a ton of work to put one of these on, but it's worth it. As soon as practice starts, it's good.
That's it. The funny thing is, I'd love to be able to let a lot of racers get a chance to look at the spreadsheet in terms of the expenses because people don't realize how much it costs for fencing.
No,
all the rentals, all this rental stuff is ridiculous. The staffing is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love to be able to share that, but everybody's like, "Oh my God, you guys got to be making so much money." No,
I know.
We lose money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
But it's worth it in the end. I mean, it's a cool event. I love temp tracks. They've always been my thing. So
they have. Yep.
This one's right up. But we'll
Mike,
just keep making it bigger and better.
Mike, here's another thing, and I'll throw this out there. You guys lose money. I know SCUSA doesn't make a lot of money. They make a little bit, maybe a little bit at 500 something entries. It costs so much to put these on. The impact, we talk about a lot when you talk about temp circuits. When IndyCar or whatever goes into an area, whether it's Toronto or Markham, St. Petersburg, they're talking about Cleveland now, right? When they go in, or Arlington, Texas, it's that economic impact. We're not making a massive economic impact on Las Vegas, right? We're going to spend a lot of money at the Rio. We're going to spend a lot of money at the Rio. I guarantee this race will be up there in terms of the events that the Rio has throughout the year because a lot of the hotels, rents, the economic impact of an event like Rock Vegas on the industry is one of the big things. At the end of the season, where these teams are able to come in, the event's not making money. The teams are going to be able to make money here for sure. Yeah, they got a lot of capital outlay, bringing new chassis and all the stuff they're doing. But this is one of those events when these guys can put 15, 20, 25 guys under their tent. These are the races that they get to make money in Q4 to hold them over for 2026.
Right. And, it's where we reward everybody for being with us and running a rock program all year.
Yeah.
So, we reward the people that were in Winter Tour and Rock Sonoma and, Rock Canada and even down to Rock Columbia and Costa Rica and all the rock, we're going to have flags for all the rock divisions that are coming.
Yeah.
So, this is their reward. So
I love it. Well, Mike, we're going to let you go here. Excited, 3 weeks out. And let's say this, probably about 2 months, 2.5 months till our next face-to-face. And we're talking about the Florida Winter Tour. I don't want to rock your world right now. It is coming around the corner. I know you're going to have a little bit of a break after Rock Vegas, but I'm sure you're ready to go. Like you said, as soon as those carts roll on the track on Wednesday, all the work that you guys put in is kind of done at that point, right? You hand the keys over to your race stewards and say, put a race on for 5 days.
Yeah, I'll sit back and bug you guys in the booth.
I love that. Mike, thank you so much, man, for joining us. We look forward to getting down to Las Vegas. This is going to be a massive weekend, a massive event. ROK Vegas, 50 drivers in the SD Pro category. That's going to be insane to watch.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Awesome. Mike Burrell, folks, from ROK Cup USA. Again, David talked about the fact that Mike's been around a long time, right? He, back in the day running through central Indiana, all the events they did, those street races they all did in the SIRA and all the other races. Good team with him and guys like Mike Audie and Chris Wheeler and those guys that race karts back in the day. But a guy that's been around the sport for a long time. It's been in the media with us too. Worked for National Kart News for many years. So a guy that knows the sport really well, and right now at the helm, of course, of ROK Cup USA.
Yeah, it's looking forward to the event. Again, it's been a while since we've been there, and lots of great things going to be coming up at the end of the month.
You rolling on Tuesday, right, or Wednesday? Which day you get?
Tuesday morning, yeah, Tuesday morning to get there for the engine raffle.
What are you having for dinner on Tuesday night?
I hope In-N-Out Burger.
I'm sure you will, David.
I'm sure I will. I'll find somebody that wants to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to episode number 91. We're closing around to 100 episodes of Face2Face. We got lots more coming. We're going to get Mike, as we said, before the start of January, sometime in December, to talk about the Florida Winter Tour. That's coming around the corner. We'll talk all about 2026 and their plans for the season, but they've got one more race to knock out here this year, as we said. ROK Vegas coming up October 29th to November the 2nd. Both David and I will be there. I'll be in the commentary box alongside DJ Clark and Jackson Lambros. David Cole, of course, his traditional EKN trackside live coverage throughout the entire weekend. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the show. We do appreciate it. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.